Ever feel like your brain is a browser with 47 tabs open, three of them playing audio and one mysteriously draining your battery? In our hyperconnected world, the average knowledge worker checks email every 11 minutes and juggles 15 different projects simultaneously. David Allen's Getting Things Done methodology offers a comprehensive framework to achieve stress-free productivity. Unlike quick fix hacks, GTD addresses the root cause of overwhelm. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. GTD provides a trusted external system to capture, clarify, and organize everything, freeing your mind to focus on what matters most. The result, what Allen calls a loud mind like water, a state of relaxed focus where you respond appropriately to whatever comes your way. At its core, GTD consists of 5 essential workflow steps. Capture everything that has your attention, clarify what each item means, organize results into appropriate categories, reflect regularly on your system, and engage with the right task. Our minds evolved to notice threats, not to serve as sophisticated task management systems. Allen's research reveals that our brains don't distinguish between a life-threatening emergency and a forgotten grocery item. Both create the same nagging sensation. As Allen famously puts it, your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. This fundamental insight is why capturing everything into an external system is the first and most crucial step of GTD. The capture phase begins with a comprehensive mind dump, writing down every task, project, concern, or random thought occupying mental space. The goal is to get everything out of your head and into a trusted external system. To implement the capture phase, designate physical and digital inboxes for collecting items. This could be a notebook, a physical tray, or apps like Todoist or Evernote. The key is having as few collection points as possible. Once you've captured everything, it's time to clarify. This means processing each item by asking, what is it? Is it actionable? If yes, what's the next physical action required? If not, is it reference material, something to incubate or trash? This is where Allen's famous 2-minute rule comes in. If an action takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately rather than adding it to your task list. This eliminates administrative overhead for tiny tasks. The 2-minute rule applies during processing, not capturing. If you're in a meeting and think, I should email Sarah about the budget, yet you capture that thought. You don't immediately start typing an email. The rule kicks in later when processing. For the organized phase, Allen recommends sorting actionable items by context, the location, tools, or conditions needed to complete them. This means creating lists like at calls, at computer, at errands, or office. Computer. To implement context-based organization, first identify the context relevant to your life and work, then create separate lists for each context in your chosen system. This allows you to batch similar activities and choose tasks based on your current situation. Most productivity systems fail because they confuse projects with actions. Plans at the conference and isn't an action. It's a project requiring multiple steps. Call the venue to check availability is an action. This distinction transforms overwhelming projects into manageable steps. Allen emphasizes, if you don't pay appropriate attention to what has your attention, it will take more of your attention than it deserves. Defining clear next actions eliminates the mental overhead of repeatedly processing the same items. Did you know that most people's to-do lists are actually plotted to think about e-lists? Vague items like you deal with insurance or you organize office plows create mental resistance because your brain doesn't know what those actually mean or where to start. To define the effective next actions, use physical action verbs like call, email, draft, or review. Be context specific instead of contact John. Right? Call John about Q3 budget approval. Your actions should be concrete enough that someone else could complete them. The fourth step, reflect, centers around the weekly review, what Allen calls the critical success factor in GTD. This isn't just calendar maintenance. It's a comprehensive system check that ensures nothing falls through the cracks. The weekly review consists of 3 parts. Get clear by processing all inboxes to 0, get current by updating lists and following up on waiting items, and get creative by considering new possibilities and higher level goals. To implement an effective weekly review, schedule 60-90 minutes at the same time each week. Create a checklist to ensure consistency and make the experience pleasant. Choose a comfortable location, perhaps with good coffee or music. The final step is engage, using your organized system to confidently choose and complete the right tasks based on context, time, energy, and priorities. This is where the payoff of the previous 4 steps becomes apparent. With a trusted GTD system in place, you can make decisions about what to work on based on 4 criteria. Context, what can I do here? Time available, how much time do I have? Energy available, how focused am I? And priority, what matters most? Allen notes, much of the stress that people feel doesn't come from having too much to do. It comes from not finishing what they've started. GTD helps close these open loops by ensuring nothing gets lost and every commitment has a clear next action. One of GTD's most liberating concepts is the someday maybe list, a pressure-free zone for ideas, dreams, and possibilities you're not ready to commit to but don't want to forget. This list serves as a parking lot for your brain's natural tendency to generate ideas. To create an effective someday maybe list, start with a simple document or section in your task management system. Conduct an idea dump of everything you've thought about doing someday, and review monthly during your weekly review. A common misconception is that GTD is only about task lists and to-dos. In reality, it's a holistic workflow management system that includes capturing, clarifying, organizing, reviewing, and engaging with tasks with mindful attention. Another myth is that GTD guarantees productivity through strict scheduling. In fact, GTD focuses on managing commitments and actions, allowing flexible prioritization by context, energy, and time rather than rigid schedules. Many believe you must use complex software to implement GTD. While digital tools can help, GTD works with any trusted system, including physical notebooks or simple lists. The methodology is tool agnostic. What matters is consistency. Did you know that professionals who consistently perform weekly reviews report 40% less stress and significantly better work-life boundaries? They can truly disconnect during personal time because they trust their system to hold everything important. Ready to implement GTD? Let's create a 7-day sprint to get started. Day 1, set up your capture tools. Day 2, conduct a mind sweep. Day 3, process your first batch of items. Day 4, create your context lists. Continuing our 7-day sprint. Day 5, define next actions for your projects. Day 6, set up your someday maybe list. Day 7, conduct your first weekly review. Day 8, reflect on what worked and what needs adjustment. Start small and build gradually. Don't worry about getting everything perfect from day 1. Focus first on capturing everything, then gradually implement the other components. The goal is progress, not perfection. Common implementation pitfalls include tool obsession, spending weeks choosing the perfect app, all or nothing thinking, skipping weekly reviews, and overcomplicating contexts. Start simple and refine as you go. For digital implementation, consider tools like Todoist, Notion, or Evernote. For physical systems, a simple notebook with sections for projects, next actions by context waiting for, and someday maybe can work perfectly. To maximize productivity, integrate GT with your calendar. Reserve time blocks for focused work on next actions, schedule your weekly review as a recurring appointment, and use calendar for true time-specific commitments only. The weekly review is your productivity engine. Each week, ask what went well, what projects progressed, what fell through the cracks, are my contexts still relevant? This continuous improvement cycle keeps your system effective. For maintaining focus during work sessions, combine GTD with techniques like Pomodoro, 20 minutes of focused work followed by 5-minute breaks, or time blocking, dedicating specific hours to context-based task batches. The transformation typically happens in stages. First, you experience the relief of getting everything out of your head. Then comes the confidence of having a trusted system. Finally, you develop the mental clarity of knowing you're working on the right things. Perhaps the greatest gift of GTD is permission to be fully present. When you trust your system to hold your commitments, you can engage completely with whatever you're doing, whether that's an important work project or dinner with your family. As Alan puts it, you can do anything, but not everything. GTD helps you make conscious choices about your commitments rather than being driven by the loudest or most recent demand for your attention. Your 7-day challenge. Pick one constraint in your current workflow, perhaps email overwhelm or project ambiguity. Apply the relevant GTD principle for 1 week. On day 8, review what changed and what you learned. Not sure where to start? Choose the constraint that's causing the most stress. Overwhelmed by inputs? Start with capture. Unclear priorities? Focus on clarify. Scattered efforts? Begin with organize. Lost track of commitments? Implement the weekly review. Remember, GTD isn't about doing more, it's about creating space for what matters most. By implementing the system, you're not just becoming more productive, you're reclaiming your attention and intention in a distracted world. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more productivity insights. Get your own copy of Getting Things Done through the link in the description to start building your stress-free productivity system today.